Hi, everyone. As I said, my name is Kalyn Oyer, and I've been writing about music for about a decade now, since 2012. I started out as a freelance album reviewer, and then I got into concert photography, and I'm currently an arts and entertainment reporter at the Post and Courier. Through a decade of covering music, I've noticed one thing that still holds true, like it does in many other fields, and that is that men definitely dominate the field. While there are many women pop and rock stars, the statistics in my research have shown that men continue to outnumber women on stage and off in almost all aspects of the music industry. As a good journalist does, I will start out with the numbers. According to a 2021 report that was conducted by the University of Southern California, the other USC, in 2020, women comprised just 21.6% of all artists, 12.6% of all songwriters, and 2.6% of all producers. But what does that really mean on a local level? That's what I wanted to find out. So today, I'm going to spend my time up here doing what I often do in written words, and that's telling other people's stories. This time, I'll be walking through the imbalances between men and women in music, highlight some of the Charleston women that I've interviewed who are trying to even out the playing field. And all the while, as you can see up here, I've been showing up on the big screen some talented women musicians that I've photographed on stage. My journey on this topic started with a story that I published back in February of 2018. And it was awarded first place in the South Carolina Press Association's Arts and Entertainment category. Thank you. I explored in that story how women musicians and music industry adjacents, specifically in Charleston, routinely deal with sexist challenges, and it was the first time that I truly dug into the issue. The Charleston music scene at the time was being called a lot of things, including the up-and-coming Austin. But one thing it hadn't been called on a larger scale, at least, is sexist. One of those red flag words that puts people on the defensive, but it's defined as prejudice, stereotyping, or discrimination, typically against women on the basis of gender. And at first glance, the scene here isn't. There's Sisters in Song, which is a monthly meetup for women in music that's all about networking and support. And there are local organizations like the Carolina Youth Action Project, which was formerly Girls Rock Charleston. And they offer lots of opportunities for girls and non-binary youth to start learning rock band instruments. There are certainly plenty of people in the industry who are in full support of all musicians, regardless of race or gender, and I'm lucky to know many of them and be friends with a lot of them. But very few of them in Charleston, still to this day, are women. And of those, most claim they have faced more challenges than their male counterparts. So I'm gonna dive through a few people I talked to for the story. So first was the owner of the Tin Roof over in West Ashley, Erin Tyler. We love Erin. She so many times during her career has been assumed a man just because she was a venue owner with a gender-neutral name. So she said that there was one unfortunate incident when an unhappy promoter had been extremely rude, and after some emails, he asked to speak to the man in charge. And she said she had some choice words for him. There was Caroline Beatty, who used to be the director of marketing for Charleston breakout band Susto. And she was trivialized in her role when first starting out and talking to somebody of power. She said that he told her that she should move to Nashville and answer phones for free as an intern. And she said, nope, I'm definitely not doing that. I'm already running this tour, basically. And that attitude and marginalization isn't one-off, unfortunately. There's Gabriella Natali, who some of you might know her. She's moved to New York since she lived in Charleston, but she now works for a major music corporation in New York City. But here in Charleston, she said she was often mistaken for a groupie while working as an artist manager and was asked to leave backstage while she was working many times because they thought she was just a groupie. She said, "I've had people tell me they had no idea I even worked in music. They just always thought I was hooking up with someone in a band." Yeah. And there was a local R&B singer, Tynesha Brown, who said that a producer told her that he couldn't just be friends with women and expected her to sleep with him since he was producing her music. And she said she didn't trust a lot of guys in the industry for a while because of that. And unfortunately, like, those stories are not, like I said, they're not one-off. According to local singer, producer, and radio show host around here, Zandrina Dunning, who's played this stage many times, concert goers, especially those who've had a little too much to drink, also take more liberties with women performers than they do with men performers. And also, women are expected to flaunt their sexuality on stage. That's a big piece of it. She said, "Men have more options. They can be angry. They can be grungy. Sometimes I want to be those things, but I feel like I can't. Instead, I'm labeled as aggressive or bitchy." Maud Desjardins of music project Matilda Day added that because of preconceptions, men often address music-related questions and comments to other men in group conversations and not women. And I'm sure that's pretty common with a lot of different categories and not just music. But she said women have to step up and take their place in those situations. It's the accumulation of subtle and seemingly harmless events that can cause damage in the long term by negatively affecting women's confidence. I could go on and on. Stop the bro dynamic. Stop caring about our bodies more than our talent. It starts with education, certainly, but it's on us. That's why I chose to spend my time up here talking about it. Now to change it.